Hi, Sandy. I figure your font software probably has a similar function, but I wanted to show you how we do it here in Font Creator. Um, but so this is your font, okay? And we have this preview, so I can type in anything I want. So let's just say I want to type in football mom. So what do we see here? Well, we see we have an issue with our word spacing. This is the default word spacing, which obviously that it does not make for a good default. But we also see quite a bit of spacing between each individual letter. Now in CorelDRAW, we can actually control that to some extent with the space width. So you can see when you use 2048, you can see how wide that is. So looking at this whole overall width, you could say, well, I would maybe want my width to be a quarter of that. So, or whatever you might. So if you take 2000 and divide it by 4, what is that? 500. So maybe the default space width when you're exporting your font, we could start at 500. But really it doesn't matter because I changed that here inside the software. So the way you do it here inside Font Creator is this is always this way. Always, always, always. So this is your fourth one. If we double click on that, watch what happens here as I scale out. We have these two uh, guidelines, if you will. As I pull this one in, see the live preview? I can say, okay, I want that to be my default spacing or whatever you want it to be between words. So you have that flexibility. So then the next thing we need to fix is the spacing between our lettering. Now you could get super crazy here and create kerning pairs and I mean all kinds of ridiculous stuff when it comes to making fonts. But the most generic way that I do it is I come up to my tools menu and choose autometrics. I add everything into what I want to modify. I hit next, and then I sit and play. So we can, the white space before and after characters, let's just say 35. I don't know what that means. 35 pixels, 35 centimeters, 35 millimeters, 35 inches. I don't know. It's just a number. So I just hit finish and did you see that slight change? So now what we're going to do, we're going to go to the extreme. So we're going to go overboard here. So let's just say we want the spacing to be 5 because I really want you to be able to see, not 55. I want you to be able to see the difference, what's actually happening here. So there we go. White space before and after characters. If you hit finish, now you can see that O is really tight to the M here, but the other spacing is not so bad, but you see the gap between the F and the O, and that's where you could go in and be really crazy and create a kerning pair so that if there's ever an F and an O, it has its own special spacing. So like I said, you could go really nuts and do it however you want to, but that is generically how you set this up. And of course, now we can save that and we'd have our new word spacing and our new character spacing between characters. So really simple edit. That's all we do is we export the font from CorelDRAW, pop it in here to Font Creator, do the autometrics thing, do the word spacing thing, look at the preview. You could type out a few different things um, to see, how the various letters are interacting with one another, um, whatever you want to do. And once you're happy with it, save it, and you're off to the next one. So we only spend a minute or two in the font software itself because obviously the bulk of the work is done by CorelDRAW. So if we close this out, we can close out this. If I double click, you can see that the circles are not perfect circles. But that's okay. Like I said, it really doesn't matter because we convert that. Designer Edition converts it for us automatically. We've got the cool CorelDRAW macro. A WinPC handles the conversion just fine. So it's really super simple. But anyhow, that's the magic trick, which isn't that magical at all. It's really quite easy once you understand how to go about it.